What's up? What it do? We are here, kind of on time-ish for the size up today. Y'all been going through some medical stuff. I've been to the hospital and everything. I don't know if I disclosed that the last time we were here, but sis got to have some surgery, so I've been going through here.
Going through yonder.
I've been going through and I've been in a lot of pain. So it hurts to sit up for a long period of time. Today I feel a little better. So I thought, why not? Plus, I've been arguing with people all day about this Southern Heritage Classic thing because y'all are really butthurt that we not coming back. And I mean we by Jackson State. And we're gonna get into that a little later because I do want to talk about the Southern Heritage Classic um as well. We won as I knew we would. They had my pressure up the whole game. Number 71, and I'm gonna talk about this later. But remember number 70, no, is it 71 or 77? 71 and 71. We're gonna talk about him in just a minute because that might piss me off, and y'all piss me off for keeping him in the game. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna move on. First off, we want to send our condolences to the family of David Arnold. He is a very well-known comedian who passed this week at the age of 54. Natural causes. He leaves behind a wife, beautiful wife, and two beautiful daughters. Um, he is the creator of That Girl Lele, of the Nickelodeon show. That has a lot of the youngins. My children are not that young anymore, so the kid shows now. If my niece is not in my presence, I don't know about them. So I am familiar with That Girl Layla. I just have never watched the episode because I have boys and teenager, young adult. I don't have no babies. But definitely saddened by the loss. I actually, before I heard the news, I have to find joy in everything I do. And I love watching comedians. And of course, now with social media, you can see them on TikTok, you see them on the reels on Facebook and on YouTube and Instagram. And I watch a lot of David Arnold's stand up, and I didn't even know he had a whole special on Netflix. So now I'm gonna go watch his.
He
Huh?
has
He has two on Netflix. See, I didn't know that. I just have so I watch a lot of the comedians on there. Joe Cole is Coy. I'm sorry, is it Joe Coy?
I know
Is
who you're talking about. I think so.
Yeah, he just came out with a movie called Easter Sunday. Oh Lord, Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears. I forgot about that. We gotta talk about that too. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um, and the way I remembered that was because she's in that movie that he just came out with about his family. Um, but uh Joe Coy, a lot of the comedians, I like Chocolate Sundays. So I watch a lot of those videos, and I watch a lot of I sit up and just watch the comedy videos. And I could get lost in TikTok or on any of the reels now watching them. And so I remember one of the really the funniest things he said. He and his wife have been married long enough to where they don't even care about what the other person's saying anymore. He said the other day I was talking about my wife about something, and she just walked out the room. And he was like, "That's about right. She should have walked out 10 minutes ago." Like stuff like that. It's funny to me. Um, but he has built his career over time. He talked about how he got started. He came to LA with two trash bags.
Um,
And he would walk every day to the comedy club. It could even be a night where it was not time for him to be performing, those sorts of things.
and
So
then he also talked about how he was 20 years sober from drugs.
yeah, yeah. So he's been through a lot, and has overcome a lot in Jesus to overcome that, all of that, and find this success and do what he loves to do. And then all of a sudden now he's not here. He's gone. So again, sending condolences out to his family, his wife, and kids. You're gonna be greatly missed, guy. Very funny guy. Very funny guy.
Girl, he had me cracking up. I cried and laughed at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, because he's hilarious. He is so funny. He's really, really funny.
And down to
Um,
earth.
Very, very, very much so. See,
I got it at the right amount.
You did.
But no.
Where my seasoning? I'm recording live. You know that, right? Okay. Can you get my seasoning on here? Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Go bye. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to have a little popcorn while we was recording.
And he seasoned it.
He did, but he said he couldn't get to all of it because it overflowed. He did a little too much. I have this little thing that you can fix popcorn, like the seeded popcorn, in the microwave. It's a little popcorn bowl that you put in the microwave, and it makes like the homemade popcorn that we used to make over the stove. And it's so good. It's real good. So I don't buy a whole lot. I just go buy the popcorn seeds. I got the little thing, and I get the little butter that goes with it. And we fix it up, put it in the microwave, and pop. Popcorn, you have it.
Oh, you know what else we need to talk about?
Yep.
The release of the trailer teaser of The Little Mermaid.
Okay. Oh man, y'all mad this week. Okay, here we go. So let's start with that. So Halle of Chloe and Halle was not on the last season of Grownish because she was filming as Ariel for The Little Mermaid, the live action version of The Little Mermaid that's set to come out, I think, in March of 2023. When they found out she got the role,
we got mad.
Baby, let me say this, because they got mad about Corlys Velaryon on House of Dragon. Y'all don't know who Corlys Velaryon is because you're not watching House of Dragon. If you're still mad about the end of the Game of Thrones, I am too, but I want to know about these people. I'm sorry. Y'all have got me hooked. So Corlys Velaryon is a black Targaryen. That's who he is. Of course, there are people who are speculating that the black Targaryen, right, didn't exist in that time. And I'm like, how y'all fighting this? And this is a fictional character that they didn't really describe fully in the book. Let's start with that. So y'all were upset that Ariel is being played by a black young lady. Here is my thing. I am not upset that Halle is. As a matter of fact, she has a beautiful voice. They made them dreads red. Okay, there you go. Boom. Okay.
Oh, and then she sung the hell out of the Part of Your World song.
Let me say this. These vocals are not going to be unmatched. I need y'all to understand what's about to happen. When we see The Little Mermaid, these vocals are going to blow you out of the world. Mama been singing. She came out the womb singing, as far as I'm concerned. She is phenomenal. Okay, so these notes, y'all finna get all these notes, all these real high notes, all of y'all about to get them all. She about to blow y'all away. Let's start with that. But here is my next thing. I love Melissa McCartney. I love her. She is like amazing to me. However, Queen Latifah should be playing Ursula. That's all I'm gonna say.
Live action.
Huh?
She played Ursula on the live action.
She played it on the live version, the stage version that they did on NBC. She's not. Melissa McCartney is about to be Ursula in this film right here.
Okay.
I like Melissa, but Queen Latifah, to me, I would feel better if Queen Latifah had been Ursula. I'm sorry, that's just where I am.
They couldn't make too many black folks on it.
Huh?
They couldn't make too many black folks on it. You already know that.
Listen, I'm here for it. Y'all get out your feelings. And let me say this. We have been on the planet actually longer than most of you guys have. So to be upset that there's not a white person playing main character, you out of order. You out of pocket for that. We here, man. We here. You know, let that girl shine. I'm for it. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if it's coming out of movie theaters on Disney Plus. Hopefully I'm whole so I can go because I'm going to the movie theaters to go see that. Y'all know the Woman King is coming out too. We might have to talk about this tomorrow. This or whenever we record our next episode of its own. Well, the Woman King is coming out as well soon. I can't wait to see that. But I'm probably not gonna be able to see it. I'm probably gonna have to wait till it be released on something digitally because I'm gonna be in the house. But make sure y'all, as a community, we're having to combat these negative comments. Make sure y'all are going to the movie theater and supporting or buying it digitally if you would rather watch it in the comfort of your own home to support these actors and actresses in the films that they are in. Make sure y'all are definitely supporting. They need to be number ones. These people need to, get it out. They had a nice spread in essence, or the women who are playing in Woman King, and the young lady who played Emmett Till's mother in Women of the Movement is in it. Lashana, I can't remember Lashana's last name, but she played in the in Captain Marvel. She was her best friend, Captain Marvel's best friend that can fly the planes. She's in it. Viola Davis. There's a couple other people that are in it that are African that I've seen before. But I'm super excited to see it. So, and then of course, the guy who played in the Star Wars, the black young man, I can't think of his name right now. It's gonna come to me. He's playing in it too. So make sure we supporting our people in the arts because we want more movies, we want more stories of ours to be told. So I can't wait to see it whenever I get to see it. Pray for me. Him pray for me.
And no, for some who don't know, Woman King is part of African history.
It absolutely is.
It's not depicting women as masculine. This is based on facts.
Facts. And not only that, we need to see ourselves as kings and queens. We do not need to see ourselves as slaves and oppressed all the time. I know that's also facts. I know those are also movies, but I personally am tired of seeing the slave movies. I think our young people need to see that so that they can know, hey, this happened, right? But every time I turn around, like we saw the Women of the Movement, I've seen several accounts of the story of Emmett Till. I've seen that. I don't want to keep seeing that. They're coming out with another film. I think they're supposed to be coming out in December. I don't want to keep seeing that. I have black young men, and we're still living in a time where Emmett Till situation could very well still happen to this day because we see that with the police brutality. I'm tired of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us depicted in a great light, in opposed to always oppressed, that sort of thing. So these are the Woman King. I think that's going to be a phenomenal film. It's based off of the Dahomey tribe in Africa. This is facts. I want y'all to get with it and understand. As a matter of fact, the Dahomey tribe, let's talk about that real quick, and then we're gonna move on. Wonder Woman, the Amazonian women that Wonder Woman in that world depicts is literally about a tribe in Africa of Amazonian women called the Dahomey tribe, which the Dora Milaje from Black Panther is based off of. They're women warriors. So they highlighted them in Lovecraft Country. And it's a story that needs to be told because a lot of people don't know that. So these are the things that I totally agree with, these types of stories being told. It's not trying to take away masculinity from men. It's not doing any of that. This is their tribe. This is how some of the tribes in Africa work. A lot of tribes in Africa, I took a class when I was in undergrad where the women go out and hunt and the men sit at the house and gossip and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there are different roles in each tribe where different things happen and take place. That's a way of life for some tribes in Africa. So I just want to put that out there. Because we've seen some things on the internet where people, being real hotepish, coming against what the story actually is. That's all. That don't mean we finna go fight, like warriors, because that's not the time that we live in. This was a time before now. But it's good and it's easy. It's great to see that being depicted. You know what I'm saying? It's a story to be told. So, where was I going, Lord? What was the next thing we was going to? We were going to talk about Ray J. Them.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I had to finish cooking.
What's your cooking, girl?
You're allergic to it.
Oh,
Pork.
Can't have no plate. Okay.
Macaroni cheese, green beans.
Okay. I had a pork. So we talked about this probably a few episodes ago. Well, probably longer than a few episodes ago. We talked about how on the new season of the Kardashians that I don't know why we came out with another season of the Kardashians when y'all ended over there at E for being on thing for 20 years. I don't care to see 20 more years of y'all. I promise to God I don't. Because I just ended like a year ago before y'all started this new season. So
they did that because they ended it with E because they got more money from Hulu.
I believe that. Again, I don't care to see it. They had this thing where they came up with this fake storyline where it was said that Ray J had another copy of the sex tape of Kim Kardashian, and Kim was boo-hooing and crying and oh my God, and apparently Kanye met with Ray J to get the laptop with the additional video on, so that wouldn't go out into the public. Keep in mind, Ray J ain't studying y'all. Let's start with that. Ray J got his own wife, on again, off again, as they may be, own children. Ray J has built an empire of his own. Okay. Got his Raycon things. He's doing the electronics. He's making money. He's doing his thing. He's on all of the Love and Hip Hops. I'm waiting on them to move to New York in just a minute. They in Miami now. They was on Atlanta for a short period of time.
Are they on Atlanta or Hollywood?
Huh? They started on Hollywood. They started in Hollywood. They was on Atlanta for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they did a couple episodes in Atlanta. Now they in Miami. So I'm waiting on them to go to New York at this point because, but they're in Miami right now. So they've gone through their own ups and downs. This man doesn't have time to be thinking about something that happened 20 plus years ago. Well, I was watching episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami last week, and Ray J was talking to his manager about how this whole thing coming out again has kind of stopping some things for him as far as his business deals are concerned. So the plan for them is to take legal action, but apparently, Chris, and you saw this, so I'm gonna let you chime in on this.
Okay, hold on. Okay, here I come. Okay, so apparently Kris Jenner got on the James Corden show. You can see, I guess you can see that on Paramount Plus if you want to, the reruns.
It's probably on YouTube.
And he did a lie detector test. Now, the only person he ever did a lie detector test on was Lisa Vanderpump. So, yes, I don't know. Okay. But he asked her if she had something to do with the release of the sex tape. She said no. And for some reason, the lie detector test passed. You can lie and still pass a lie detector test.
Not only that, who's to say that this was an accurate, like this on the late night talk show?
Exactly. And so that set Ray J off.
Of course, it would have set me off too.
And back to you.
So it set Ray J off, rightfully so. So apparently last night Ray J went live. Now I was dozing off in between quarters of the football game because I was trying to watch it on my phone. And I rewatched Virgin River because there were some things I missed. I still miss some things, but I think I'm satisfied enough to not have to go back through it again. But
homegirl made you that mad, huh?
Huh?
Homegirl made you that mad, huh?
Who? The girl on Virgin River?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm waiting on season 5. They in production right now, by the way. Y'all can come on with this season 5. Because they're helping to piss me off. But at any rate, so Ray J went on live last night, going off, going ham. I got receipts, I got contracts, I got this, I got that. And apparently last night he went online and Cher said receipts and contracts. Now keep in mind, we already knew. Chris, stop lying. We know what you did. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't be famous. I don't care if your dead ex-husband represented OJ in a trial. We don't care. You would not be a household name right now had you not brokered the deal to release the sex tape. Just keep it real. Y'all are trying to destroy this man. Every black man y'all have. Y'all try to destroy.
Chris, if I was you, I'd run, Chris.
Oh, that man's name is Chris. Nah, he basking in the spotlight, baby. I don't know what he's doing. Corey. He basking in the spotlight, baby. He enjoying being on every reality show. Somebody showed a clip of Courtney talking about how one of her kids just was really disobedient and wouldn't do right. And he was like, she need a spanking. You need to whoop her. I'm like, Corey, them white people do not whoop their kids. Stop.
That's why they like it.
But he's back. I think he's enjoying. I don't know what he did before he got with her, but I feel like he wants the spotlight. He wants to be in the spotlight. The issues that they've had in the past with the people that they have dated in the past, they have been black, with the exception of Tristan Thompson. He's just an exception to the rule. Other than that, everybody else that they have been with hadn't really wanted that spotlight on them. Not for real. They got along to play along, and as a result of this, all kinds of stuff have happened to these people as a result of being attached to the Kardashians, specifically the black men. Okay, so I don't blame Ray J. Release all your receipts. Now, I still feel like you need to take them to court. I just want to put that out there right now so that you can get your affairs in order. But yes, that was not cool, and I don't blame Ray J. Share all of the receipts. It ain't a black man, but somebody said a black man scorned. No, he ain't scorned. He's tired of the lies, and I don't blame him. And he shouldn't have went along with it in the first place. We were talking about this offline, where I felt like Sonia, who is his mom, had a chokehold on Brandy's career. She was Brandy's manager, and of course, they had some. They butted heads a lot because Brandy. I remember seeing it. Brandy was grown. Brandy making her own money, and she had to ask her mama because she buy something like stuff like her mama really had a tight hold on her in her career. Whereas I don't feel like she had that same tight hold on Ray J's career. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's because he was the youngest kid. Sometimes the younger kids don't get that.
Just think about it. You're talking about Brandy, right? She was a bigger star than Ray J. Think about Britney Spears. She was a bigger star than her sister, Jamie Lee. Right. You have to think about these siblings. Beyonce, bigger star than Solange.
Correct.
So, got to think about that.
I get the bigger star, but what I'm also saying
I'm sorry, you guys. I got to eat. Go ahead.
Oh, go on to eat, girl. I get the bigger star part. But what I'm saying is, I also think that's a lot more so. You know how when you have your first child, you're nervous about everything. That I think it's more so that because she didn't guide his career. I don't think she put him in and she tried to get him in there, but I don't think she really guided him. He got opportunities because of his sister, but I don't think his mama had a chokehold on his career and really guiding it the way, because I feel like he wouldn't have done. That whole sex tape thing would be non-existent if Ray J had to agree to participate in what they had going on. And if his mama had said, hell no,
it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't have happened. That's all I'm saying. He was an adult when it came out, but he was a young adult, and his mama still should have been like, "Hey, nah, dog, we not doing that. That's not what we doing." Just my thought process behind it. Um, I'm just saying. I just feel like at that point in time, somebody should have been like, "No, sir, this ain't what we doing." I'm sorry. So I hope Ray J gets vindicated. I think he's vindicated enough. I believe he's telling us. I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I saw that first episode. Look what Kanye did.
like,
he got all of the sex tapes.
So and then you drag that man for filth after the fact.
And then after, yeah.
He's bullying me online. Your boyfriend is going back and forth with him online. What you? Y'all trolling this man. You think he ain't finna go off? Huh. Crazy. But yeah, so that's my thought process behind it. Sick of the Kardashians. Where are we going next? We had a rough week in Memphis this past week.
We surely did.
Very rough. Eliza, what's Eliza's last name?
Fletcher
was missing last Friday. She went on a run at 4:30 in the morning. She goes on this run all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start by that because like, why are you running at 4:30 in the morning? I heard a lot of that. I should be able to run at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I should be able to run at any time without having to worry about somebody snatching me up and killing me. I should be able to do that. As a wife, as a mother, as a career woman, what time does she have for herself?
Exactly.
And so if 4:30 in the morning was the only time that girl had to run, that she should have been able to do that.
And then also, not to downplay what happened to her, but the only reason why that case got solved so quickly and she was found so quick is because of her status and her family.
She's a billionaire heiress. Her grandfather is the founder of Oracle.
We have yet to find the doctor that has been missing, and her husband has been charged with her murder. Her body is yet to be found. It's been years. Family just want closure.
They also had the FBI, all of the TBI. Everybody was working on this case as well. We have Black women that are still missing. We don't have beings. We don't have the same resources that her family had. As a result of that, we don't have that. We end up missing and lost in the system. Mm-hmm. People have to continuously work and fight to find their loved ones who don't have the means to be found. Mm-hmm. And she made national news.
Sure did. The Today Show came down. They came to Memphis.
Yeah. So this is it's crazy. She definitely should have lost her life at all. My heart goes out to her kids and everybody that loved and cared for her. I have some friends that are in the running community that ran with her. And so I my heart goes out to all of those people who knew her and knew, what she was about. She loved her job. She loved kids. Awesome runner.
And then I think that what they did was Friday. They did either Friday or Thursday, a whole bunch of runners at 4:30 did the run and completed her run, her trail.
Yeah. So we shouldn't have to live in fear. I'm sorry. Why are you running at 4:30 in the morning? No, I should be able to run at any time of the day and not have to worry about somebody snatching me up and taking hold of me. Okay. So yeah, I hate that they did find her body. Was it Tuesday they found her body? Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, I think.
But they went ahead and arrested the guy. He's in jail. They did do the rape kit, and they found that he was responsible for her rape. So he's gonna be gone for a very, very long time. He had just gotten out of prison for
Early.
serving 20 years.
Yeah, he got out early.
He got out a little early. But he had just got out for kidnapping and kidnapped her uncle's partner at the law firm. That's the other thing. The uncle's partner was the one he kidnapped 20 years ago. The same uncle who spoke on behalf of the family. So, right. They said it was an isolated incident. I don't think it was an isolated incident, but that's just my thought process. And I won't play Facebook detective. My last name is not Stabler or Benson, so I'm not gonna do that. But but I think there is more to this story. They're probably not gonna let the more to the story come out unless somebody get pissed off, and then it's gonna be a lifetime story. I don't know. But there are some holes, I think, plot holes in the story. Just my thoughts and opinions about it, because that's too much of a coincidence that the uncle's partner was kidnapped 20 some years ago, and then all of a sudden she gets kidnapped and she's ultimately murdered. And the way that the uncle's partner got away was because he was able to alert somebody that he was kidnapped. And they ran away, but they ended up catching the people who kidnapped him. So something's not quite right, in my opinion. And I don't think she should have had to die either way, if it's right or not. Not right or not, but if in fact this was just merely a coincidence, I don't think that she should have had to die either way. So so after we dealt with that, Jesus, we had an incident on Wednesday where a young man who was 19 years old, who also just got out of jail probably about a couple of years ago, went on a killing spree, killing 4, injuring I think 13, shooting people all over the city. And they caught him finally at 10 something at night in Whitehaven. But he went from South Memphis to North Memphis to Midtown to Raleigh. He went all over the city, carjacking people, shooting people, stealing their cars, the whole night. He even went to South Haven for a brief minute. And I thought, bruh, man is about to lose his life, because if he go to Mississippi, they don't play down there. They're gonna shoot him. But he was only in South Haven, just
a U-turn real quick,
right, just enough to
steal that person's car. They were waiting on him,
right? Just enough time to steal that person's car and go on about his business back to Memphis. So it was ridiculous. And my baby had football practice. They ended their football practice early, and he was like, he called me, "Hey, you got the door open? I need you to open the door because I'm finna sprint up these stairs and I'm finna close this door behind me." I said, "Baby, the door is unlocked." It's scary to have to deal with that. And funny thing, at the time when he carjacked the gray Toyota in Midtown, my mom and I were headed in that direction because I needed to go to Home Depot to get a key made for Jalen for our house. And I was like, "I need to go to Home Depot, Mom." And she was like, "Well, I really don't feel like I've been ripping and running all that." That's fine. That's okay. So I went on in the house. I can get it made another time. And lo and behold, no soon as I made it in the house, he had stole the lady's, had carjacked that lady and shot and killed her, and took her SUV. So they did get him. They apprehended him.
And I'm surprised that man is not dead.
Well, I don't think they were gonna shoot and kill him. I think they wanted to apprehend him. Um, um, I think they wanted to apprehend him and get him alive. Now, had he stayed in Mississippi, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have survived. Huh? He would not have survived. Bruh man would be dead.
But then to do it all on Facebook.
Yeah, he was on Facebook Live the whole time, and we made national news yet again. It's really crazy.
It showed him shooting that man in AutoZone.
Yep.
On Facebook. I ain't see it. I'm glad I didn't see it. He's not okay, but he's alive.
Yeah.
He shot and killed first his so-called friend.
Huh?
The first guy that he killed was a so-called friend.
Right. He actually started at his house over in the morning. They sat down at 8 and everything, and he shot and killed the guy. Crazy.
Now baby girl ain't gonna know about her dad.
Right. Crazy. So first of all, let me say this. I have, at the time he was 19, he just turned 20 on Friday. My 20-year-old is in school and doing something with his life. And I always know what they're doing. I always kind of, they probably think, what's wrong with you? Why you in my business? But I know they're not going to go out here and start shooting, killing, and acting no fool with folk. I'm not saying that everybody has the best parents in the world, but we need to know what our kids are doing. But when they turn 18, it doesn't stop. Your parenting doesn't stop. It doesn't.
And even that, though, I understand what you're saying. I agree. But I also see it like this, too. Parents, you can teach your kids the right thing to do, and you can tell them what's the wrong thing to do. At the end of the day, it's their decision when they get grown, what they're going to do with their life.
But he's been in trouble since before he got grown. You get what I'm saying? So something is amiss. So here's the thing too. We can argue that, but we can also argue parents seem to be quite selfish when it comes to doing what they need to do for their kids as well. A lot of parents, they have babies and they leave my grandma's house or they leave them wherever during their formative years. Yeah, there's a lot of that is going. I know more grandparents that raise kids than kids that actually raise their kids. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. A lot of young parents. Yeah, you're right.
Correct.
But you know what? There was young parents anyway throughout history, so that's not even an argument.
It's not anything new, but it's getting worse. My mom is not responsible for raising my kids. Something ain't happened to me and I'm no longer here on this planet. My mom is not responsible for raising my kids. If I need help every once in a while, yeah, she'll help me. But it's not her job. She raised her kids. It's time for her to live her life the way she sees fit. It's not a grandparent's responsibility to take care of your kids. Now, the baby sick because you went to work or you got something going on, that's one thing. But if this an ongoing thing for you to go out to the club and you to go lay up with Mr. and whatever else, that's not, and that's too much of that is happening and taking place and going on.
Oh, Chad, I remember my niece, she got mad at us because we didn't want to watch her son. And she said, y'all are obligated to watch my child.
Lies. Did nobody lay up and make that baby but you? We were not there. We did not open your legs and say, hey, baby. We didn't do that.
I cracked up.
Not obligated to take care of your kid.
I was like, child, I'm like, look, I've done my thing. Because she had it in her head that my mom always kept Joshua, which was not true. Because when I was in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend, every time I went over his house, Josh was over there with me too.
Right.
My mom was like, I am not going to take part on you.
Like, nobody's obligated to do anything for you. When people seem like it's an obligation. You're entitled to. No, you're not. Not entitled to do that. You know, shout out for the parents that do step up and help out, but it's not their job at that point to do. Now, if the kids are young, I get the stepping up at that point, but at some point you need to give them wings to fly and grow so they can do what they need to do. We need to set our kids up for success and not failure. And I don't know that young man's backstory, but I'm willing to bet that something went awry. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. Somebody missed the ball. You know, I know there are some parents that teach their kids and whatever. Something's happened to where that child felt like, I need to go out here and shoot up the whole city of Memphis. Something's not right. Period. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just my thought process. Okay, so we talked about that. What else? What else we said we was gonna talk about? Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish.
Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Are they being accused of child molestation?
Let me tell you what happened. They didn't molest the kids. What happened was there's one video in particular that I saw on YouTube, and they had taken it off YouTube because the mother had sued for money back in the day. And Ryan Davis is a comedian, and I watched his post because they want a lot of other comedians' reactions to, you know, what's going on with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. And let me back up, because I don't think this would have come out had Aries Spears not opened his mouth about Lizzo a couple of weeks ago. Let me start with that. I agree with that, because typically when we on our high horse, somebody's waiting in the wings to knock us right on down, to cut the horse off at the knees.
I'm just really like you the pot really calling the kettle black, because you are not skinny mini yourself.
You ain't cute. You used to be cute back in the day, but you was ugly now, sir. You was ugly now. Okay. Okay. You was somewhat cute when you first came out. And I thought, oh, look, Aries, but you done put on weights. You done ate one too many Whoppers, Big Macs, whatever it is that you eat, and you have let yourself go, sir. And men don't get talked about the letting of the go. Men still get to have a very vibrant career even after they done put on some weight. Women, however, are told, you need to lose weight, you need to do this. We go through the changes and the ridicule and the whatever. And so with that being said, I feel like if he hadn't opened his mouth, this would have never come out. So let's talk about how this initially happened. So there were two Funny or Die videos that was made with Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish. Now, Tiffany and the lady had met when Tiffany was doing the comedy clubs and stuff. I think she sponsored some comedy camps or whatever. And she and this lady became friends. So much so that the kids called Tiffany Auntie Tiff or something like that. So they did the skits or whatever, and she's directing them on what to do. The first skit was with the girls, because now the girl, the daughter and the son, the daughter is suing because the daughter is an adult now, and she's suing on behalf of her younger brother because he's still like 15 or 16 years old now. And so with that being said, the first video, it was her eating like a Subway sandwich, and she's making little crazy noises, probably giving a sexual innuendo, that type of thing. But you know, at least that's the way she felt. She didn't want to do it. Tiffany was like, well, your daughter, she ain't gonna make it. You know, she didn't do the skit or whatever. It didn't work out. So then they did the skit with the little brother. And it was, the title of the skit was Watching Who You Leave Your Kids With. And it was like a pedophile type of skit. How, you know, a lot of women leave their kids with their boyfriends or their uncle or their granddaddy or whatever. And no way did he, from what I saw, I didn't see Aries actually touch the little boy, but the little boy had on just some underwear, right? And was sitting in the middle of the floor playing, and Aries was like peeping at him through the paper, and it was really cringy. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good video. So back in 2018, 2019, the mom sued Tiffany and Aries, if I'm not mistaken, at that point in time for money instead of pressing charges. So here's my thing. And maybe she couldn't press charges because it was a video. They were acting. Nothing really happened to the point to where there was actual molestation that happened. However, and she also signed the NDA. That was the other thing. So that may be why she could not do the criminal charges against them at the time. But my thing is, I'm going to try to find the loophole. That's my thought process. If my children are harmed in any way, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, and they're in your care, first of all, you don't know Tiffany that well to let Tiffany just have your kids. I don't care how famous somebody is, the way Hollywood works, and we've heard this story over and over again. We've heard about the R. Kellys and the this and the that. I'm not just letting my kids go to anybody. It's just not what I'm gonna do. So with that being said, she allowed this. The kids went. So the girl is saying now that she and her brother, they have gone through a whole lot of mental health issues and that sort of thing. Why didn't you ask for, when you were trying to get money? She asked for a lot of money at the time. When you were trying to get money from Tiffany and Aries previously for this, why didn't you request that they pay for counseling for the kids? My thought process. That wasn't something that was asked for. And I think that would be the settlement at this point. Because what money have you lost? You're barely an adult. Your brother is a child still. He's in school. What money have y'all lost? You see what I'm saying? What are you doing with your life where you've lost money that it's caused you to lose out monetary wise? You see what I'm saying? With this situation. So they need counseling. They need to sit down and talk to somebody. They probably shouldn't have been put in that situation, but it was a skit. It's acting. You know, there have been a lot of movies made about molestation where children were acting. You see what I'm saying? This wasn't a situation where they were molesting the kids. It was acting. That's what it was. So it was bad. It wasn't good. It was not funny. It was supposed to be made funny, but they didn't post the video. The videos were put up. They didn't post them. It was taken down. They apparently scrubbed the entire YouTube of it. So you wouldn't have been able to find this a couple of weeks ago. Whereas now it's all over the internet again. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really know how to feel about this. Personally, if my kids are going to act or do anything, guess where I'm going to be? Right there with them. I'm taking off. I say this all the time. I do not believe that Michael messed with them little boys. But listen, if Michael was alive today, he still had Never Neverland. He said, come on, I need Jalen. I want Jalen to come to Never Neverland. Faith is going to Never Neverland too. And we're going to all drink Jesus juice together. Do you understand me? I'm going to be right there. I'm a parent. I'm not just going to let my kids go with whoever just because. No, that's not what we're doing. And we got to stop just giving our kids to people. Just because she was nice to you. I don't know how deep their relationship went. She called the kids on their birthdays and she did this and she did that. Was really nice and sweet. But no, if they got an acting opportunity, you want them to audition for some or you want them to, I'm finna be right there with my kids. It's not, so just my thought process. I just feel like a lot of times we do go after the money. And then this one, I don't know when the video was shot. I think it was some years back that the video was shot. So with that being said, the video was shot some years back. I feel like before she got famous, we should have blocked some fame at that point. Before she blew up, we should have blocked some things for Tiffany so she wouldn't be where she is. The same with Aries. Aries should have been canceled a long time ago. If that's the case. But it was not a comfortable video to watch. But it was I also recognized it was acting. Ryan Davis brought some examples up. He talked about the scary movies, how they talked about molestation and, they made jokes about it and that sort of thing. Like it's acting. So that's my thing. Was it right to put the kids in a position? No. You should have explained what was going on to their mom. She signed the NDA. Still explain to her what the deal is and let her give her the opportunity to say, no, I want my kids to participate in it. Or yeah, my kids can participate. It's different things that could have happened and taken place. But as a parent, what I got to do, when is this? I'm gonna take off work. Let me go where my kids at, so I can make sure my kids okay. That's my thought process. No, I'm not saying that it was right what was done, but I am saying that we also need to start taking responsibility for our own children as well. Any audition that the kids have, I'm finna be right there. Jalen got football practice. I'm at all the games. I'm finna be right there. It's no reason why I should put my children in a position to where they can't flourish and grow. Just my thought process. So a lot of people, I ain't never liked Tiffany Haddish. Aries Spears should have said what he said about Lizzo. He shouldn't have said what he said about Lizzo. I still like Tiffany Haddish. I can separate, just like y'all say, y'all can separate R. Kelly's music from what he did. I kind of can't, because he was singing to the girls. He wasn't singing to no grown women. But he made phenomenal music. Bill Cosby, I still watch the Cosby Show. Whenever it come on, like I ain't never seen it, I still watch the Cosby Show. So, like, come on. We got, but we also got to think the times that we're in. And it's funny because people bring up stuff that happened millions of years ago, like Kevin Hart had to apologize for the homosexual joke, the LGBTQIA jokes that he made 11 years ago. And he kept apologizing, and then they wanted to put him on this big this way. He said, "Man, you know what? I'm not going to host the Oscars. That's what I'm not going to do. Because why am I going to do that?" He said, "I've changed. My thought process and the way I do things now are totally different from what happened 11 years ago. And y'all can't get with that. And y'all not hearing me. And I keep apologizing. And y'all want me to get on a national platform and apologize. I'm not going to do that." The same thing Janet Jackson did. Janet Jackson was like, "I'm not going to apologize 10 times because I'm black. You know, y'all want me to put myself." I'm not doing that. And at some point in time, we got to differentiate. I'm not saying dismiss any feelings that you might have had if somebody did something to you 10, 11, 10, 20 years ago. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, first of all, at the time that the crime happened, let's report it at that time. Let's go to the authorities and report it and see what can be done. And then if cannot be done on that end, go on and file that civil suit and get your cheddar. But do it at the time that it took place and it happened. Don't wait 20 million years later and then all of a sudden, hey, I need to sue you because you did blah, 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 blah. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not saying that people should not. Kevin Spacey is a good example of that. I'm not saying that if you did something criminal and illegal, that you should not be responsible for the crime that you did. Kevin Spacey was out here raping folk left and right and doing crazy stuff to folk. I'm sorry. I know he's a phenomenal actor. I loved him on what's the name of that? House of Cards. I loved it. I was so mad. The last season was awful. Nothing against Robin, the wife. Nothing against her at all. But it was not the same. Because I was committed to Frank Underwood, okay? And what Frank Underwood had going on. Because Frank was a mother. Do you understand what I'm saying? But he was raping folk. He was children, teenagers. He got to go.
Yep.
He got to go. So I'm not discounting anything, but at the time a crime happened, just what I say with Bill Cosby, y'all could have ended that man's career in the 70s and the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm white. I'm using my privilege. Privilege time. You a white woman, you in the best position ever. Because you can use that white privilege quicker than I can say white privilege. Just my thought process. And people may disagree with me, and that's fine. I'm okay with the disagreement. But you know, you got to think about these things. And because people don't agree with crucifying a person right away, they want to kind of crucify you and come against you. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And they should, I don't think I think they could have done that skit without those kids. Number one.
Mm-hmm. That's distasteful.
It was distasteful. But do I think that they molested the kids? No, they ain't molest them kids. I I think that they should not have put that video out. It was cringy. It was not. It was in poor taste. So, just my thought process on that. I hope they resolve the issue, pay for their counseling, get them help, throw them a little cash, settle out of court, whatever y'all need to do, and don't do it no more. Leave the children alone. If you're gonna act with the kid, make sure it's in a professional setting. As in professional, I mean on a movie set, on the TV sets. Okay, not in no we try. And at the time, I think Tiffany was more so building. She was doing the comedy circuits and stuff. She might have did one or two movies or something at that point, but I don't think Tiffany was as big as she was now. So I think right now, her thought process would be different. Just my as far as Tiffany, because our air experience, I don't know. Air still be trying to somebody shared a clip of somebody beating this man on the radio station. They beat him up. They beat him down. And I don't know how long ago this was. I don't know if this was recent, but they knocked the fire out of Aries Spears, and I couldn't do nothing but chuckle. It was so funny to me. It was hilarious to me. I got to find it because they shared it. I'm gonna share it with you. You gonna crack up. He was talking noise, and the man kept saying, "Somebody just need to knock you in your mouth." He kept talking. That man got up and literally knocked him in his mouth. Oh, and they was like, "Stop!" No, the lady that was hosting the show, it was her, Corey Holcomb, and somebody else, and the lady was stop, y'all. I was like, "Girl, you better not go over there. Let that man get his whooping. Let that man get beat. Don't you throw yourself in the middle of that." But that's where I'm going with that. I just think that they need to that needs to be resolved and get the folk help. Y'all put them in a crazy situation, so definitely get them help. Y'all got the money to do it, so help get them help. That's my thought process. I'm on the Southern Heritage Classic now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about everything.
Okay. Southern Heritage Classic. All right. We've talked about this before. Let me do a highlight of the game. Okay. Let me say that my blood pressure has never been higher. Okay. Y'all were the field goal kickingest Negroes I have ever seen in my life. Our defense is good. TSU's defense was great. TSU, we kept stopping them. They couldn't make a touchdown. They got one field goal. Okay. I said, well, clearly, okay, y'all did that. They did the field goal. Let's go and do what needs to be done. Our defense did a really, really good job of getting in the backfield. I think they only got in the backfield on us maybe once or twice. We kept consistently putting pressure on Polo number 7. So both O-lines, let me say this, both O-lines from Tennessee State and Jackson State need some work. Okay. Number 71. I feel like it's 71. I keep wanting to say 77. Whatever, 70, whatever. He kept holding, and it cost us 2 touchdowns. They called the 2 touchdowns back because that man kept holding, and they took him out, and they kept putting him back in the game. Now, let's talk about this real quick. We got the number 1 recruit in the country last year, Travis Hunter. He committed to Jackson State. There was a rumor that ESPN put out, and I hope they have retracted this, saying that Travis Hunter was suspended for off-campus activity. I don't know how true that was, but Travis, from my understanding, had an injury prior to the game last week in which he played last week. And they didn't want to sacrifice him playing in the Classic to get injured any further. So they wanted him to get some rest. This is what I have heard that was reported by the Clarion Ledger. I want to make sure that people realize that he ain't suspended. He's still a part of the team. Okay. He just didn't play in the Classic. And the Classic is not a game. Let's talk about how that's not a conference game for us. Okay. Not a conference game. Now, earlier this year, there was uproar about Jackson State pulling from.
Folks was big mad.
Huh?
Folks was big mad.
Oh yeah, they real mad, and they still mad. They really butt hurt that we're not gonna be playing TSU any longer in the Southern Heritage Classic. So first of all, let me talk about the bands real quick. A lot of people, TSU did good. Da, da, da. Let me say this. TSU, I like the tribute that they gave to Memphis. I like the tribute that they did for Young Dolph. Y'all field show is sloppy in a mug though. The music was great. They had great music selections. Their field show, people running into each other, they were not precise. The dancing girls were not on point. They were all off. Listen, y'all did a good job with the music selection. I love the tribute, but y'all need to work on y'all field show. Like, I don't know if y'all had band camp this year or not, but their field show was sloppy in a mug. I'm sorry. Jackson State could have done better with the music selection, but their sound and their clarity was a whole lot better than TSU. Everything was on point, precise. The lines were crisp. They were on it. They weren't running into each other. They weren't dropping stuff. They weren't tripping over nothing. And I don't know if it's because TSU had more. It looks like they had more students this year in the band that they did last year, and maybe they don't know what to do with it. I'm not sure. But those are my critiques for the band. I didn't get to see the fifth quarter. I'll probably go back and watch it on YouTube later on. But other than that's what it was. 51,000 people at the stadium. That was a good turnout for us. That, guess what? Neither school gets profit from. So we're about to talk about that real quick. And I mentioned this. I discussed this earlier this year. So first of all, I think that Deion Sanders has a lot of influence when it comes to Jackson State. But we have an athletic director. We also have a sports division called the Southwest Athletic Conference, okay? And unless it explicitly said in Deion's contract that we ain't playing the Southern Heritage Classic no more, I don't believe that the final decision for us to pull out of the Southern Heritage Classic was on Deion Sanders, okay? Now, maybe he was the smartest cookie in the bunch, because I had no clue that for many, 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 many years, TSU and Jackson State have not really been they're making a fraction. I'm talking about a small fraction of the money. It's like I got $1 million and I wrote you a check for 500. That's basically, not saying literally that's what it was, but that's really the money that they make off the games. And I'm talking about for both schools. Okay. A lot of people are talking about, well, the tradition of the game. And listen, I'm for tradition. I'm for Black schools. I am a graduate of Jackson State University. I love everything about HBCUs, and I'm loving that students are choosing HBCUs. The students that would normally go to the PWI schools, the students who are very talented, and instead of taking their talent to an Alabama or a Clemson or a UCLA, they're taking their talents to the HBCUs, and I'm all for that. I'm 100% for that. Make it happen. At the same time, we, as an institution of higher learning that does not get the same money that the white schools get, our facilities are not. I'm talking about Gramblin's facilities. I'm talking about UAPB. I'm talking about Clark. And I'm talking about all the facilities at the HBCUs. Our alumni does not donate in droves like the PWIs do. We don't have as many private donors as the PWIs. Let's talk about that, because it's a real conversation to have. You're talking about tradition. You have a Black man who has pimped out 2 Black schools for 30 plus years to play in a game where they just got a raise probably about a few years ago. $300,000 for each school for the football teams and $50,000 for each school for the bands. The bands just started getting paid probably about 5-10 years ago, if they started getting paid then. You on mute. So
I said, wow.
When I look at the bowl games or the classic games for us, or what bowl games are for the PWIs, okay? When I look at the bowl games, the schools that come here to play the Liberty Bowl in Memphis every year, they get $1 million a pop. They get $1 million a pop.
Wow.
Not to mention that $350K that each school just got, that's not including their expenses. Southern Heritage Classic does not take care of their hotel rooms. Any eating that they have to do, their travel, they don't take care of that. So really, they ain't made $350,000. They really haven't made that. Fred Jones, I salute you. I'm glad that you came up with this idea to have this game. You a whole millionaire out here in these streets, my guy. But common sense would have said a long time ago, I think that brother got probably about $5 to $7 million this year alone from the Southern Heritage Classic. You charging people for the tailgating. You have a concert every year. Y'all normally have a fashion show. Y'all have the coaches luncheon. Those tickets for the coaches luncheon alone is $100 a pop. All the festivities that take place and go on during the Southern Heritage Classic, all of that money minus whatever expenses, and he got sponsors. So let's talk about this. When you have a sponsor for an event, they give you money to put on the event, and you in turn advertise them. Okay? They in all your advertisements. The title sponsor was FedEx. So let's talk about that, because somebody said, well, didn't FedEx give each school $1 million? FedEx did give each school $1 million. But FedEx gave each school $1 million out of their own pocket. That ain't had nothing to do with the Southern Heritage Classic. FedEx is not in charge of the Southern Heritage Classic. The Southern Heritage Classic is Fred Jones's event. Okay? They are the title sponsor. Okay? So it says FedEx presents because they gave the most money for the Southern Heritage Classic. Okay? So all the events they sponsored money-wise, they gave money. They had several sponsors, from MLGNW to the city of Memphis they had several sponsors. They had corporate sponsors, they had local sponsors, they had several sponsors. I'm willing to bet that Fred Jones the budget that he used for the event comes from sponsorship dollars, not out of his own pocket. And right now, Jackson State is dealing with a water crisis because the city of Jackson's water is messed up.
Yep. I have my godmother lives in Jackson.
Not only that, Tennessee State got a housing crisis. They got students staying in hotels right now.
Sure do.
And you mean to tell me we supposed to continue to shuck and jive every year for a football game? And we ain't making no money? That's like a black slave owner. I don't want that. So yeah, Dion probably said to them, why are we playing this game and we only getting $300,000? What's that about? If we're going to elevate our schools, we need to elevate our schools for real. So what the SWAC and our athletic director decided was that Jackson State was going to play in an Alabama Classic or some type of class, I don't know, where the city of Alabama has offered to give each school proceeds from the tickets. So they're going to split $2 million down the middle on top of each getting paid $350,000. So they got a potential of making $1.3 million to play a football game in Alabama. Where you going? Tennessee State need to do the same thing. Or they need to negotiate. If they bring another HBCU to the table, Tennessee State, Eddie George, hear me. If you don't, y'all probably don't watch my podcast, and that's fine. Y'all need to negotiate a better deal for the Southern Heritage Classic. Now, y'all butthurt because Jackson State did what Jackson State had to do for Jackson State. I don't care. I don't care. They said, Coach, they said, well, what about the tradition of Tennessee State, Jackson State? That man said, I don't care, and went on about his business. And I don't blame him, because at this point, what's done is done. Jackson State ain't coming to the table. Fred done filed his little lawsuit in court. We found a loophole, apparently. We got a legal team, okay? We got a legal team, and they probably found a way to get out their contract. You don't like it, that's fine. Breach a contract, okay. Guess what? Where we gonna be in Alabama? Go on and find the next school to take the place. But next school coming to the table, and Tennessee State, y'all need to negotiate a better deal. You don't get any proceeds off of any tickets, none of the tailgate, none of that. That all goes to who? Fred Jones. Because I'm sure he paid
Fred Jones or Fred Smith?
Jones. Smith is Fred X. Jones is the black man that's over the Southern Heritage.
Okay.
And I get it. He got a staff of people that work. He got to pay them. That's fine. Brother, you still netted millions of dollars. The city itself made $10 million from the tourists being here and going to the clubs and the different venues and the hotels and all that stuff. Yeah, we bring dollars because we're going to spend money. Find another black school to play in the Classic. We haven't always been... the majority of the games have been played against Tennessee State and Jackson State, but it ain't always been Jackson State ain't always been there. Mm-hmm. Y'all can live without us, for the next few years or however long this goes on. Y'all can do that. Find somebody else, but negotiate a better deal. That's it. It's business. It ain't personal. It tradition. If tradition is screwing me over constantly, forget tradition. Tradition should have thought enough about me to get me in on the money. Period. Because each school needs that. They need it. They need it. We should not be in a position where we're doing it to our own. We should not be in a position to where we have to girl, did you just send me something?
Look at it later.
Ooh. We should not be in a position to where we gotta go through that. We should be thinking of ways to bring it, and it highlights the HBCUs. Absolutely, I'm glad of that. And the other thing is, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna hurt some feelings, probably, I'm sure. We don't need to go play the white folk. A lot of our HBCUs, one of them in particular, went to UCLA to play them in California. They got some money. They got beat. Southern played LSU. I want to say like they did when Debo, not when Debo, no, when the girl in the Players Club, that girl got her butt beat in a Players Club, and the man said, "Did you at least pinch the bit?" I want to say that because you lost horribly for some money. We don't need to be pimping ourselves out either. In that sense, we need to play each other. Let's come to the table. You want to do a classic game, or you want to do whatever? Let's do that. Let's come to the table and negotiate a deal that's going to be lucrative for both, where we're playing on the same level. And let's work to get our facilities and our training up to par, so that when it's time for us to go play the white schools for a money game, we're going to whoop their tail. Okay? That's where we are with that. That's where we need to be with that. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. What's your thoughts, Wendy?
None.
Because I've been going back and forth with these Negroes all day long. And I'm tired. Do you hear me? Tired.
See, that's the difference between you and me. I ain't going to have to go. I'm not going back and forth.
I had time today.
I said what I said, and that was it. Now, I did kind of back you up when that girl was talking about when she was bringing up the past and stuff like that. And she said, y'all may have won the battle, but we've been winning wars. And I'm like, well, that's the last battle. So who won
I
that?
mean, yeah, and I tagged her and two of my other friends in that because every year we have the noise back and forth. We talk. As a matter of fact, two of the friends is in there. We don't talk for the whole week of the Southern Heritage Classic. We don't talk till Sunday, till after the game because we got this rival thing going on. And so they want to go, you know, we won the most games, bro. We ain't talking about the page, we talking about right now. Y'all got beat. So Hirsch, okay.
Okay, speaking of that, this person had put something about the Cowboys not winning since '96, right? He a Raiders fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hold on, but this is coming from a fan of a team that hadn't won since '84. So what's the so I'm like, so what's your point? You own us, but your team hadn't won the Super Bowl since '84, so y'all in worse shape than we were.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, let it be. Who won this year's? Who won this year? Was it the Buccaneers again?
Did Tampa Bay win?
Well, I can understand if the boy was a fan of the current winner, of the reigning winner of the Super Bowl. Then yeah, you can say what you gotta say. But
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a Raiders fan. Y'all haven't won a Super Bowl since '84.
I have not.
So
Um,
you gonna get on us because we haven't won one since '96.
hold on, I'm trying to see who won the Super Bowl. It was the Rams. The Rams.
The Rams,
Yeah.
okay.
It was the Rams versus the Bengals, and the Rams won. Yeah, the Buccaneers didn't make it. And
Okay.
speaking of, this was something else I want to talk about, and we're gonna end it. But I do need y'all to understand the business aspect of that. And it's fine and it's okay, you know, that you're upset because of tradition and y'all don't feel like there are other schools that are gonna travel. I disagree. I think they will. Maybe why, because there have been some other schools in the past that they have played a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. I think Jackson State didn't go. And it was another school that played Tennessee State. But with that being said, and maybe those people didn't travel, maybe their alumni didn't come to the game, I'm not sure. But if you make a deal lucrative enough for the people to come and participate, I think they'll come and they'll enjoy themselves. Make it lucrative enough and make it make sense. When you was first starting out, yeah, schools, 50,000 here and whatever. Because I think when they first started out, they got 50,000 a school. The band didn't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? So over the years, from 30 years ago at 50,000 to now we at 300K for the football team and 50,000 for the band. That's not no. What we doing? It doesn't make sense. Money wise, it doesn't make sense. And I don't care. Y'all can blame Coach Prime. Do whatever you want to do. The brother got some sense. And it ain't about Coach Prime. It's about him wanting HBCUs to do better, wanting them to accept better, wanting them to come up. We got to set a standard for ourselves. We can't just accept it just because it's tradition. We got to set a standard and we got to follow that standard. Period. So, yeah. Sorry. Bye. Respectfully. Real quick. Apparently, this unretirement for Tom Brady is causing problems in his household. Gisele has moved to Costa Rica from Florida. She comes and visits Florida ever so often. He was not in training, I think, for a whole 2 or 3 weeks because he's trying to work things out with Gisele. But Gisele was like, bro, all you gotta do is retire because we want you at the house. You have made your millions of dollars, my guy. You come out to the house.
No, Tom Brady. He got home with the kids and like,
Somebody said, I know. What I'm not gonna do is this. You finna go do what? You got a modeling gig where? Guess what I'm not finna do? Sit in his house. I ain't about to do it. These kids drive me nuts.
Oh, we need to put the banner. All comments are alleged.
Oh, let me do that. I guess I'll put that up.
Cause,
yeah.
Because you know a certain house Beverly Hills Housewives did a cease and desist letter to Sherelle from Sherelle's World.
I heard that, and I think that's what Richie put his alleged DJ Richie Scott. Shout out to him. He put his all commentary is alleged. Did we talk about Sheree's site shutting down?
We need tomorrow. About the fashion show she by Shein.
Their website. First of all, I'm not spending $142 on no t-shirt. I ain't been part of no cost that much.
And then the shirts was wrinkled. Like it came out of the washing machine. Wrinkled. I can get a friend to do a t-shirt like that. All I had to do is get the materials. Where does that say $142?
It's giving me Kanye West vibes with the clothing. Y'all remember when he came out with his slave edition line or whatever, with the holes and all this stuff in it, the clothes looking dirty or whatever, and people bought it. The Yeezys they don't look good to me. But he's charging all this money for these shirts and these clothes, like the jogging suit he put on there for $2,000, stuff like that, and it got holes in it, sir. I'm gonna get the same pair of jogging pants at Walmart, put some holes in it, and there we go. But people went with it and they bought it. I'm not doing that. And she by Sheree, you ain't Kanye, neither are you Beyonce. I'm not spending $142. And I think the things are cute. They're cute. I'm not $200 and some on a set. But you're gonna go Fabletics and get 2 for $24. I'm not gonna do that.
But she's being accused of not paying folks.
I believe that. I believe that's why it took so long for Chateau Sheree to get finished. She didn't give Drew. She complained about the party that you did not have any parts in putting together, but it was your idea, and you said you was gonna go half with the girl on the party. You didn't get her the money for the party because that's not what I would have done. I wouldn't have done that, girl. But you weren't here. And you need the money for the fashion show. Just say that. Yeah.
I still don't believe she paid $1 million. She said, I spent over $1 million. No, where?
Unless now I don't know how much the venue costs. Venue rentals, and if they had to build the stage and they had to do that, they could have been pricey. But you also could have gotten sponsors, like our good boy Fred Jones did for the Southern Heritage Classic for your fashion show to get that put together. Yeah, I don't think Sheree needs her peach back. I think Sheree probably needs to be a friend of the show along with Marlo. Marlo, you need to go back to friend zone. We need to friend zone you ASAPidly.
You just made up a word.
ASAPidly. I think you used your nephews for a storyline. I believe that, and I don't know if they still in the house with you because
I think they are back in the house.
I could have sworn. Well, I know they came back on the show, but I could have sworn that Candy was saying on one of her speak on us that the boys was not at the house. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I hope they are. I understood the situation with her mom. But I also think, again, you exploiting your situation. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But yes, I just think that there are rumors swirling around that Portia Williams will be back in the fold as a housewife. She did a Amazon Live video this past week, I'm sorry, Amazon Live video this past week, was reported on House of Aaron that Portia is in talks with the Real Housewives to be back on the show. She's also getting married in November to the African man. I don't forget his name already.
They changed the date.
I guess they did, but
I'm telling you, they changed the date.
They're having two weddings. They're having an African wedding over in Africa, and then they're having a wedding in Atlanta. That's interesting. I don't know what was the original date.
It was in September.
Oh, okay. Maybe they pushed it back because she had a schedule come. I don't know.
I'm thinking it's because Bravo is trying to pay towards the wedding to film it.
Bravo probably does want that footage. And I feel like that's probably a condition of her coming back, maybe. Into
You know,
the fold.
most folks gonna be dogging her about how she got
You
that.
know what? I don't necessarily agree with that because Kenya said, and I quote, because Kenya said this, and I saw her when she said it. She feels like Portia needs to come back. She said she even missed Nene. Because they're good TV. I don't know that they're gonna dog her too tough. I'm not sure.
If Marlo stays, she will. You know, she got something to
Marlo
say.
need to be a friend.
You know, Marlo always got something to say about somebody's man. And we already know that she got issues about men because of her mama.
Correct.
But we can talk about that tomorrow.
We can. We're gonna go. Thank you guys for joining us. Preferably, I feel that. Do you want to talk about Virgin River tomorrow?
Yes, we will.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Virgin River. We're also gonna talk about these folk on these reality shows tomorrow. Kendra and Jock, Lord God, we're gonna talk about it. We also are going to delve into Virgin River. We're going to talk about that because I've watched it twice now, all 4 seasons. We're going to give a brief synopsis. We're not going season by season, episode by episode. We are literally giving an overview of Virgin River. When the next season comes out, we will be ready because I'm taking notes and stuff because these people got me. It's a lot going on, okay? And I did not know this was based on a book series. So make sure y'all hit us up tomorrow. 8ish is when we will be here. Maybe 8ish because I got a feeling you're gonna be Ubering tomorrow.
Because I gotta take this down.
Okay, well 8ish. And if you gotta be off camera at certain points, so you ain't got it all down, then I understand. But we will be talking about that, and we got some premieres coming up over at CBS. All of our comedies that are over there, and I'm sure the new seasons of the SWATs and all this. I don't watch. My mom just got me into SWAT when I was in the hospital. After watching Big Brother, and we're gonna talk about the latest with Big Brother. We got to talk about that. Oh Lord, it was a mess. So make sure y'all are with us tomorrow, 8:00 for It's On. We'll be back. Thank you guys for joining us today. If y'all would like, please follow us at The Size Up over on Facebook. The Size Up 2102 over there on Instagram. Oh my God. And the Size Up Official Podcast on YouTube. We go live every Sunday. I would give you a time, but it's never at the same time because it hasn't been lately. But every Sunday we go live. And every Monday night we go live for our other podcast Is On, where we talk about all things TV and movies. So make sure y'all tune in, follow us, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share. Sharing is caring. So we want to make sure you guys are involved in our conversation. If you have a comment, make sure you leave it. If you're watching this on the playback, leave a comment, agree, disagree, argue, whatever you want to do. We'll respond, I think. So make sure y'all join in on the conversation. And we'll hit y'all up next time. Bye.